Hello and welcome back to another episode of Sudoku with Tsvetii. I have really bad hiccups right now, so I apologize for the noises and general groans of discomfort throughout the video. But I suppose that is what we have been dealing with this entire week of doing things that are difficult. And even when life sends you hiccups, you adapt and overcome. I did not know how I would be able to wax that poetic, but I did. And it sounded very fancy, so I'm proud of myself. I'm going to give myself a little pat on the back. Ow. I hit myself too hard. But anyways, I hope that everyone is doing well, of course. And I hope that you are joining me in this week in trying to do things that are difficult for the sake of doing things that are difficult, to challenge yourself, to grow as a person, and to grow as a student of the game of life. That sounded a lot more like I'm trying to get your credit card information than I thought it would come off as. So I apologize for that. Oops. But yeah, that sounded like I'm trying to sell you a course about how to get rich. So and I do not have a course yet. No, I don't. I don't think I'd ever be that desperate to profit off of people. I will try to profit off these fives right here, and we only have two of them available, so we don't really have much of anything going with these fives at this moment. So can't scam the fives, unfortunately. Anyways, sixes, we know six has to be over here, which means six has to be here in the middle. Shout out Jimmy Eat World. It just takes some time. Let's see. We have several sixes, but not much going. Not much going in general. As we move on, we are still feeling pretty good. We're still doing very well overall. I hope that you all have been taking this week as a challenge, not necessarily challenge, but as a way to force yourself into doing things a little bit differently, and trying to be a better you throughout the day and throughout the week. We do know actually 8 is right there, so 8 has to be up here. We are doing fairly well so far in just knocking out some of these. Yeah, we know 8's up there. Anything else? Not particularly, but I'll just go ahead and mark these down. Let's check out our individual 9. Hey, found the 9. Still looking pretty good. Nothing too crazy thus far, but still feeling pretty good overall. We can go ahead and see what else. Over here, we're missing 5. That's a 5, 6, 7, 8. And we have 2 and 8 here, so those are both have to be a 2 or an 8. So it's just 5, 6, 7 over here. And then we're missing 5, 7, 8 here, which, you know, isn't the most helpful thing we've ever found out, but it is certainly a step in the right direction. Now that actually cannot be a 6. So we do know that this will be our 6 right here. There, 6 of those, yada. So we are feeling pretty good overall. We were able to solve a good little bit. You know, we have our 5, 7, and 2 and 8 over there. We actually just know 3 is down here, since 3 is blocked right there. There's a 3 in that one over there. Go ahead and mark that down. We are missing 5, 6, 9 as well. So that's just a 2 and a 5. That'll just be a 5 and an 8. We have our 2 and 8 here. Yeah, we're missing 5, 7, 8, but that has to be a 7 based on other previous geological surveys. That was a non sequitur if I've ever heard one. Jeez, I've been watching too much South Park recently. I was thinking of Randy Marsh. We know that a 7 could potentially be there, so we won't go ahead and mark that 7 off just yet. But we have been getting a lot of Quick progress done. 1, 3, 6, 9. That'll just be a 1 or a 9. Could technically be all of them. Could be a 3. Or being honest with ourselves. Actually, no, that could be it. So we are doing pretty well. So let's just try to go through our numbers one more time to see if we can deduce anything else. We are feeling pretty good about these. If I'm going to be 100% honest, we actually know 2 is 2. That is a 2. And 2 has to be up there, which means 2 is one of these, which we kind of already knew. But we can confirm it now. We know 2 is right there, 2 is over there. Anything updated with our 3s? We know 3 has to be there. We know 3 is one of these 2. We know 3 has to be one of these 2. And 3 is one of these in this second row in this little quadrant. 4s, we already have all of our 4s, so it does not matter. 5s, you are dead to me. But we can't really be too upset with it. At least not at this point. So 6s. Still looking good on 6s so far. Not too bad, not too bad. What about 7s? Looking pretty good on that 7 right there. We have 7 could be there or there. Maybe when we're done with these, we can try to just fill in these just to have a quick little heart-to-heart with that. We know 7 can be there or there or there technically, but we won't mark that down just yet. Still nothing else developing for those 7s. 8s are the same. Well, we just know that they're there, but we already knew that, so it's not too much of a paradigm shift. Phew. Excuse me. All right. We are looking pretty good overall. We just haven't been able to do much with these other ones that don't really have that many values just yet. And that is because, we are getting dreadfully closer and closer to the inevitable heat death of the universe. That can be a 5, but it can be a 7. We're missing a 9 and a 1. So we're missing both 1 and 9. 9 and both 1. So shout out to me for not being able to figure out any of this. But based on the numbers, 35% chance of a 1 over here out of these 4. So part of me is inclined to just go ahead and remove it right there, but we will just hold off for now. We are doing pretty well still. We've probably solved close to, well, probably not even half the puzzle, honestly, but we have solved a good little bit of the puzzle thus far. Feeling pretty good about ourselves. What about our 2s? Anything else we can develop with our 2s? I don't. We are still looking good, doing fine. The 3s are on the corners, so we know 3s are on the corners. All right, we are still trucking along here with not much doing at this point. That's okay. Yeah, we know 5 has to be up there because we know 5 and 7 are right there. So we are starting to bog ourselves down a little bit, but we can see if we can try to solve anything that will help our tiny heart. Help our tiny heart recover any joy from being slightly morally defeated by this puzzle. But that is the point, I believe. That is the point. All right. Is it throwing stuff at the board, hoping it sticks time? So if we said this was a 2, for example, just following logic here, if this is a 2, this would have to be an 8, and then this would be 5. Means that would be this would be this would be 2, that would be 8, that would be 5. So that would work. Let's try to reverse it real quick. If this were a 8, this would be the 2. This would be a 5. And that would be an 8. That would be a 5. And then... Oh. I think I'm just going to try to play this one out real quick. Like if we did this. That would have to be 2 right there. I mean, that would solve 2 right here as well. Are we going to roll with this one, or are we just going to... we're going to roll with this, or are we just going to see where we failed? We just know where our starting screw up is right there. If we're missing 6, 7, and the other one, which is a 9, we know that's there. 7, 6, or 7. But, you know, we kind of just went with what sounded good, but we are allowing ourselves to make the mistake and come back to it. We do know that 1 is over there. Let's say 1, 1, 5, which means that'll just be a 5 right there. Yes, that'll be 5 right there, which means this will have to be 5. That's a 7. Which means this is 7. That's an 8. This is an 8. That is an 8, which can still be true. Yeah, we have quite literally kind of solved like half the puzzle. Let's see if there's still anything wrong here. And let's try to figure it out on our own, or see the error in our ways, and then work our way back. Well, we know 6 has to be. We're just missing a 1 and a 9. 1 right there, so we are just missing the 9 right there. We have 1, 3, and then we are also missing a 5. There. Okay. So we are missing 1, 3, 6, and 1, 3, 6, and then 9. Yeah. 9 could technically be up there. Actually, no, 9 cannot be up there. Because 9 has to be up here because it's blocked right here. So this just has to be our 9. Means, so 6 is already up there. This will be 3. That will be 3 to it. That's a 1, 5, 8, 1, 1, 5, 1. Oh no, we have made a mistake. No, we have not. Actually, yes. Oh, 1 is right there, doofus. But we're still wrong. Let's go back. Let's rewind. Let's rewind. Yep. Let's see. Oh. But we have our basically our starting point there. What did we put the first time? An 8. 8. Or did we do it the other way? Just verify real quick. Yes. So now we know that that is a 2. Not a 9. That 8. We now know that this is an 8. 8 is up top here. Ahead and do that. We know there. Much else giving? We do know that 5 has to be up here. Naturally. Not much else doing. Just knowing that 5 is up there, potentially. 5 is actually right here. So we now know that 5 has to be right here. 5's actually right there. I didn't even need to do that. That was just a little bit of extra work for no particular reason. Anyways, what are we missing up here? We're missing 9, and what was the other? 5. Why I undid that 5, but regardless. 3, 6, 9. So it'll just be a 3 and a 9. That'll be 3 and a 9, or 6 and a 9, which means that is a 3. This will be a 3, which means this is a 3. Okay. Not too bad. Not too bad. See that 8 over there in the top right? So we just know that is an 8. This will be 1. We're missing 1, 6, and 9 there. Really much going on the 1 still. Other than knowing 1 has to be one of these. Which we kind of already knew, naturally. But 5 has to be down here. And 5 is one of those 3. We're still doing pretty well. I mean, we can go ahead and mark 1 right there and there. Make that a 7, 9. There's a 6 right there. So this is just actually a 6. A 1. Wait. That can be a 9 too. Don't know what I was looking at. But yeah, we do know that'll be a 1, 7, or 9. We see that it has to be a 6 or a 9. 6 is blocked right there. 1 or a 9. We are feeling pretty good thus far. This will just be a 7. That's where some of this square. All of the rest of our 8s, I believe. But you're still jamming. We're missing a 9 over here. I have to unfortunately fill that all back in. The 6 has to be one of these. I have a naked one, but we do know that'll be our 9 now at least. 4. That'll be a 5. Makes this a 1. That a 1. That a 1. That's now 6, 5, 9, 5. Hit F1, sorry. Not the Ford F-150. Let's see, that'll make that a 9. Is that correct? That a 9. That'll be a 6, 7, 6. Yep, there we go. Made a problem. Solved it out. Feeling good, looking good. Anyways, take care, stay safe. Remember to like and or subscribe, and I will catch you again tomorrow.